right. So welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. And today we are going to be talking about a Premier League match that I'm sure everyone's been talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Liverpool versus Tottenham from December 22nd.
Big one.
6 goals for Liverpool.
6-3.
6-3 final. Definitely a thriller. So much more than just the goals, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the scoreline, 6-3, you think, oh, wow, another Liverpool masterclass.
Right.
But I think this game could be a real turning point in the Premier League title race.
Okay.
Tottenham obviously came into this game with some fatigue, some injuries.
Right.
But, you know, we can't forget they were one of the top contenders at this point in the season.
Yeah, so before we get into, all the tactical stuff.
Right.
Just want to set the scene a little bit for our listeners.
Okay.
Liverpool, top of the table at home. Tottenham, a little bruised, but still dangerous.
Yeah.
What were kind of the main storylines going into this one?
So for Liverpool, it was all about kind of keeping this momentum going under Arne Slot. Their attack has been so fluid and so good this season, but could they break down a Tottenham team that was at times pretty organized?
Right.
And then on the other side, you have Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham.
Yeah.
He was under pressure to prove that his system could work against the best.
And it did work for about 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, boom, Diaz opens the scoring.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just, any goal, right?
Yeah.
This was like textbook Arne Slot, Liverpool.
Textbook and terrifying if you're on the other side.
Yeah.
Alexander-Arnold with the assist, of course.
Of course.
But Diaz's run pulls 2 defenders completely out of position.
Right.
Creates space for everyone else. That's what makes this attack so difficult to stop.
It really did feel like a wave that Tottenham just could not stop. And then 13 minutes later, McAllister with the header, 2-0.
Yeah.
Was Tottenham's defense just not up to, were they just not good enough?
I think individually they're really good players.
Sure.
But Liverpool's movement is designed to exploit any little hesitation. So you see McAllister arriving late in the box.
Yeah.
Another kind of hallmark of this system. The midfielders joining the attack in unexpected ways.
Right. But Tottenham, they weren't completely out of it. I mean, that James Maddison goal.
What a goal.
Seriously, have you ever seen a strike that clean?
Maddison is world class. We know that.
Yeah.
But tactically, this goal was really interesting to me.
Okay.
Liverpool's high press left a gap right in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And Maddison, being the intelligent player that he is, just exploited it to perfection.
Wow.
It's a reminder that even the best systems have vulnerabilities.
Absolutely. So he brings it back to 2-1.
Yeah.
But the momentum, kind of feels short-lived.
Yeah.
Was it just inevitable that Liverpool was going to answer right back?
I mean, Liverpool's mentality under Slot has been relentless. They don't panic when they concede. They just keep going.
Right.
The goal right before halftime, Szoboszlai finishes off a beautiful team goal. Salah involved.
Yeah.
I think that was just a real gut punch for Tottenham psychologically.
Yeah. And speaking of Salah, his second half performance, it wasn't even just about the goals. This felt like a statement game.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
Right.
Anyone who thought that Salah was slowing down, I think he silenced all the doubters in this game.
Absolutely.
His movement off the ball, his link-up play with Szoboszlai, he was at the heart of everything.
Yeah.
And of course, the record-breaking goal, clinical finish as always.
5-1. At that point, I have to admit, I felt bad for Tottenham.
Yeah.
But to their credit, they kept fighting. Kulusevski gets a goal. Solanke capitalizes on a very rare Liverpool error.
Yeah.
Was there any part of you that thought, hang on, maybe they can pull off a miracle here?
Tottenham has so much quality in attack.
Right.
Kulusevski has been in great form. Solanke playing against his former club, you could sense that extra motivation.
Yeah.
But against this Liverpool team, you need to play almost perfectly to come back from that.
Yeah, and they didn't quite get to that perfection, did they?
Oh.
Diaz gets his second of the game, and that felt like it really sealed it, put to rest any hopes of a Tottenham comeback.
Diaz was a menace the entire match. His pace just constantly stretching Tottenham's defense.
Right.
And that final goal, it was more than just individual brilliance. It really highlighted the tactical mismatch.
Okay.
Tottenham's backline, they were exhausted by this point. They just couldn't handle his movement.
So we've got a 6-3 final score, a record-breaking performance from Salah, a tactical masterclass from Liverpool.
Mm.
But I think we really need to dig deeper into some of these individual performances, starting with the man of the hour, Mohamed Salah.
Let's do it. What's fascinating to me about Salah is how he's evolved his game.
Right.
We know he's a lethal finisher, always has been.
Yeah.
But in this game against Tottenham, he really showed off his playmaking ability.
Right.
That assist for Szoboszlai's goal, the vision, the weight of the pass, just world class.
Yeah, it feels like he's unlocked another level to his game, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of Szoboszlai, he was everywhere.
Yeah.
Was this a sign of things to come for him?
Szoboszlai's performance was a testament to his intelligence and his technical ability. He is the engine of that Liverpool midfield.
Yeah.
Dictating the tempo, breaking up plays.
Right.
Even joining the attack when the opportunity is there.
Yeah.
You know, his partnership with Salah is blossoming. And that's a scary thought for the rest of the league.
Yeah. Watching him live, I was so impressed with his energy. It felt like he covered every blade of grass out there.
Yeah.
What about Diaz? 2 goals, but it felt like he could have had more.
Right.
What makes him such a tough matchup for defenders?
Diaz is electric.
Yeah.
His pace, his dribbling ability are enough to cause problems for any defender.
Right.
But what sets him apart, I think, is his work rate. He never stops.
Yeah.
He's constantly pressing, forcing defenders into mistakes. And then his off-the-ball movement is incredible. He creates chaos.
Right.
And in that chaos, Liverpool thrive.
He's playing chess,
Yeah.
and everyone else is playing checkers out there.
Exactly.
On the Tottenham side, even in a pretty heavy defeat,
Yeah.
were there any positives that you saw?
I think even in defeat, there were glimpses of Tottenham's potential.
Okay.
Maddison's goal, obviously, a moment of brilliance.
Yeah.
Kulusevski continuing his goal-scoring form is encouraging. They have the attacking talent, but the defensive frailties were exposed.
Yeah. It did feel like they were always a step behind, especially when dealing with Liverpool's speed. Do you think those defensive issues are personnel? Are they a system problem? What's going on there?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest.
Okay.
Injuries and fatigue definitely played a role.
Yeah.
But there were some tactical issues as well.
Okay.
Liverpool's high press disrupted Tottenham's build-up play so many times.
Right.
They were forced into those long balls, and that plays right into Liverpool's hands.
Yeah.
Postecoglou has a lot to think about.
Is that going to be frustrating for him, trying to implement his style of play when he's dealing with injuries?
Yes.
A brutal fixture list.
Yeah,
This came, smack dab in the middle of the festive period,
it's tough.
which is always so demanding. Could that have played a role in Tottenham's struggles?
Absolutely. The fixture congestion in December is a huge test for every team, but particularly for teams with limited squad depth.
Right.
Tottenham really missed some key players, and that fatigue was evident, especially late in the game.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked tactics, individual performances, but what about the fans? Social media was buzzing after this game.
Of course.
What was the general sentiment among Liverpool supporters?
Liverpool fans were loving life.
Yeah.
They're watching a team that's playing with so much swagger and confidence.
Right.
And Salah breaking the all-time scoring record. It's a moment they'll never forget.
Yeah.
There's a genuine belief, I think, that this team could do something special under Slot.
Yeah, and on the other side, the Tottenham faithful, they had to be feeling a lot of different emotions.
A real roller coaster for them.
Right.
Highs of that Maddison wonder goal, the attacking brilliant.
But ultimately, the disappointment of a tough loss against their rivals.
Right.
Frustration, but maybe a little bit of hope that Postecoglou can figure things out.
It really is amazing, the passion of football fans.
It's incredible.
They ride the highs and lows with their team.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out a bit, big picture.
Okay.
This win puts Liverpool in the driver's seat for the title. But is it too early to call them champions-elect?
Oh, definitely way too early to hand them the trophy.
Okay.
Long way to go.
Right.
And the other contenders aren't just going to disappear.
Right.
But this was a statement win for Liverpool.
Yeah.
They answered the critics. They overcame adversity. And they're playing with a fearlessness that I think is contagious.
Yeah. It's not just the results, it's the way they're winning.
Right.
It's exciting, it's dominant. It's starting to remind people of some of those great Liverpool teams of the past.
Yeah.
What about Tottenham? Can they bounce back from this and challenge for a top 4 spot?
They're definitely capable.
They have the quality, but they have to fix those defensive issues, and they have to find some consistency.
Right.
Postecoglou is a great manager. I wouldn't bet against him finding solutions.
Okay.
But they're facing a real uphill battle now.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened, though. This is the Premier League.
This game could be a real turning point for both of these teams for very different reasons.
Absolutely.
Liverpool hitting their stride.
Yeah.
Tottenham facing some tough questions.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I'm curious what stood out to you the most from this deep dive. What's the one thing you hope our listener takes away from this analysis?
I think for me, this match really showed how important it is to be able to adapt in modern football. Liverpool under Slot, they've been amazing at changing their style depending on who they're playing.
Right.
So against Tottenham, they took advantage of that high defensive line with those runs in behind.
Yeah.
But they can also, control possession, slow things down when they need to. That tactical flexibility is what makes them so hard to play against.
It's like they have a different weapon for every occasion.
Exactly. And that brings me to my second point.
Okay.
Squad depth.
Yeah.
Tottenham, they just couldn't match Liverpool's intensity for the whole 90 minutes.
Right.
And I think that comes down to injuries,
Yeah.
but also just not having the same depth. In a league as demanding as the Premier League, a deep squad, a versatile squad, it's the difference between, challenging for titles and just trying to survive.
Yeah. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
You need those fresh legs. You need those players who can come in and keep the level high.
Absolutely. And those players need to be ready to go tactically.
Right.
They need to be able to slot right into the system without missing a beat.
It's what separates the contenders from everyone else.
Exactly.
So for our listener, someone who's obviously passionate about the tactical side of the game, what's the one thing you'd encourage them to pay attention to as we go forward in the season?
I would say watch how teams adjust their game plans based on the opponent.
Okay.
Don't just look at, formations, but look at the little things.
Yeah.
The individual battles, how players react in different situations.
Okay.
That's where you really see the tactical battles being won and lost.
It's like you're decoding the secret language of football.
Exactly.
You're seeing those chess moves play out in real time.
And it's so rewarding.
Okay.
Once you start to notice those things, you appreciate the tactical side of the game on a whole other level.
I love that. Well said. I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Sounds good.
Really appreciate you breaking down this match with me.
It was a pleasure.
So much drama, so many tactical talking points, individual brilliance,
Absolutely.
Liverpool's dominance, Tottenham's resilience, Salah breaking the record.
Yeah.
Something for everyone.
A little bit of everything.
As the Premier League season rolls on, I'm sure we'll see even more twists and turns, more tactical masterclasses, more unforgettable moments.
I have no doubt.
So to our listener, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep an eye out for those tactical nuances, and we'll catch you on the next episode, ready to break down another amazing match from the world's best league.